On this episode of First Timers, we finally show off the finished product of the El Camino's lower rear quarter patch panel, as well as the lower fender patch panel, as well as Hiro showcases how he looks when he styles his hair with the sun and his shadow. Alright, we're back.
Oh, what's up?
Hiro over there chilling, doing his Instagram stuff.
Trying to post the updates for everyone.
I know, yeah, we're going crazy. We're here on part 3 or day 3. This particular part, we're probably going to finish off the quarter here, and probably on a different day we'll show you how we're going to spread a body filler on there as well for part 3. So that'll actually be later on in this video, but the next day for us. We did by Rage Gold. Again, we're supposed to do, we're going to probably do the front first. We'll do the rear second. We're still working on the rear right now, and then we'll probably do some hammering work, heat work on it, just to kind of straighten it out just a little bit. But yeah, we'll jump into it. Alright, so at this point we are going to start finishing up, like I said, the welding portions on the rear patch panel. We just didn't get a chance to finish it last time. So as we're sitting there and, you know, just welding and grinding, just keep in mind we are doing our best to just try to make sure that we're not warping the panels as we're welding, so we're not staying in one spot too long. We're just going to heat it just enough. Now, we did move to the front fender just because it wasn't fully bolted on, and the piece that Hiro's cutting off currently is keeping it from sitting flush on the El Camino. So I did go on to the driver's side, and on the driver's side there is a section that just is not on the factory fender. So since this patch was kind of more of a square panel, we are cutting off that extra edge that we don't need on this side here. And so once we cut it off, the fender will actually sit flush to the door, and it's actually very easy to actually do. Again, stay safe, make sure that you are wearing your gloves. If you are the secondary person, just don't point right by the tool. I was just kind of showing them just because I do trust that you're not going to turn on the tool. But again, be careful, guys, especially if you're working with a friend, and you know, you just want to make sure that you both are on the same page at this point. But other than that, this comes right off. We cut it off, and I did have him do a quick deburr with the actual cutoff wheel, just a nice cut. You never want to cut it, you know, never want to use the side edge of the actual cutoff wheel. That's what the DA is going to be for. Now in this scene here, you're going to see that I am using a grinder, and I'm clearing off the etching primer that I did spray on the other day. Again, I used the etching primer just because we do have some moist nights here in Southern California, and I was just trying to keep the moisture off it. Keep in mind I do have a car cover on there, but just in case the car cover is not giving it enough protection, that I like to use the etching primer. And you know, it's expensive, but it's not super expensive where I'm like, oh man, I just lost a whole bunch of money because I messed up this part. But I just want to make sure where my welds are that I'm not having any issues. Now with the Rage Gold, I am using a little bit of material here just so you guys can kind of see that. And it's nothing that's really complicated to mix. You just literally slide and push together, and you're waiting for that little change in color between the two here. So you do have to sit there and work it in. I'd say at least 15 to 20 times. You do not want to stir it with like a corner of the blade or anything like that. If you are in hotter climates, such as Southern California where it's 95 degrees, when we're filming this, you have to make sure that you work fast because the material will dry within, 15 minutes. So, in some cases that's really good. But again, if you're mixing the material, Rage is probably the more expensive body filler out there. And the main reason I like to use it is just because you don't have to worry about the little pinholes as often. So again, very good product to use. Now on the rear area, since Hiro is able to finish up the welding, I'm able to come in now with the grinder and grind off a lot of the high spots if there are any, as well as grinding the paint off of the lower patch panel there as well. Now I'm not going to go too high as I'm grinding. You're going to notice that I am leaving a lot of the paint on the upper portion of the quarter panel, just because, hey, it's protected right now, and I am not at that point to sit there and strip that whole quarter down just yet, but we will get to that part, I promise. But right now we're going to probably do this section, get the fender and quarter done, and then go to the roof. And once the roof's done, we'll move in. We'll move into a different spot. But again, this is how it kind of looks right afterwards. We didn't heat it up too much where it warped, in too many places. So it actually did very, very, very. We did very, very well. Both Hiro and I doing that rear panel. Now this is Hiro's first time mixing. Now, just so you know, he started to try to mix at the corner. No, that's not how you do it. He didn't get a chance to see me when I was mixing it, so I did kind of showcase it to him. So this is his first time mixing body filler. And keep in mind, you want to do this out in the open. This is very strong stuff, so again, try to stay out in the open, wear a mask. I know we're wearing masks for other reasons right now, but again, just make sure you're wearing your mask. Again, just try to mix it in and make like a very, very, very good mixture. I won't really showcase him doing it on, but he did a very good job. Here we'll use a longboard, we'll sand her down and try to get it close, but so far it's looking pretty good. Once we get it leveled and flattened, it's going to look really nice here. So I'm pretty excited to see how it looks. But this will probably need one more, and then I'll show you the front once we get to the front there as well.
When all is said and done, you won't see
a line.
You won't see the line, and then once it's painted, you won't even know that we were working there.
Yeah, even after sanded this section down, Hiro was like, that looks really good. Yeah. Because you couldn't see the welds. So
it's amazing. Yeah.
Once this was covered. So anyway, let's jump back into it and we'll get into it. As I'm using the longboard here, I am going to be moving it around in different angles just to kind of match the roundness of the car here. So you're going to kind of notice I'm going to start out from front to back, and then I'll start to angle it. So it's good to try to maneuver it back and forth, just because, again, this side of the panel is going to be rounded. So you just want to make sure that you're kind of following the curvature of the actual car. Now this will help get a lot of the high spots down quick and easy. Again, I will probably be using a manual sanding block after this, just to help get everything down, but I'll spray some guide coat on there and try to smooth it out as best as I can. And then for extra high spots, I will use the DA sander just to help bringing down those high spots a little faster. But again, for a DA sander, when you're sanding in a smaller section, you have a higher chance of taking off too much material. So that's why I like to use the actual longboard sander. Now I do use the DA in the little bumper recessed area here, just to help knock down a lot of the higher spots. This is the time to really take your time with what you're doing. Using some wax and grease remover, wipe this little section off here, and then we're going to be using some self-etching primer just to cover it up. It's not perfectly smooth right now, but the idea is we're going to be coming back and working on the body probably around here and probably right around here. So as we're starting to fill up the body filler in certain areas, we'll come back and we'll start to straighten everything up. But the idea is we wanted to get it close, covered, so it's not rusting and all that fun stuff. Feels pretty good, but like I said, close. Yeah, but there's like a little spot here and
one right here.
Yeah, so pretty much the last ones, but everything's turned out actually really good. So let's finally use some wax and remover here and get that. So at this part, you probably have lacquer thinner or paint thinner. For whatever reason, I ran out of it, so I did use my one choice grease remover here. But again, lacquer thinner or paint thinner would work. Also, you're going to notice that Hiro is using the etching primer. Very easy can to spray, has a big nozzle, so it literally gets actually very good coverage. You could probably get away with doing 1 or 2 coats, but nothing, I wouldn't go anything past that. So obviously we still have the old paint up high and the etching primer on the bottom. So right here is probably right around where the old paint starts, so we'll still have to sand that all down. And like I said, we'll still come back and straighten it out. Still not perfect, but it does look a lot better than those big old holes that were, I think, here and in the front. And the front, to. This is again brand new section here. This was where the hole was here. Now, like I said, there's probably kind of like a low spot somewhere right in here. And then on the front of the fender, you can kind of see the holes right in that section there that we're gonna have to kind of go over and work on. As we're going to the roof here, that's gonna be the next big project on here. Obviously, you see this wasn't happy with all the rust all the way through. We do have to do little panels off to the side and on the other side, and that's pretty much the last of the rust. So we can cut the top, pretty much fixes that section, and then I'm gonna figure out, I'll figure out something for this here as well. And then after that, I think we can move to seats and all that fun stuff. We're pretty much at the end. So it took us, we'll say 4 days total to get to this point. Like I said, still a lot more ways to go. We'll put the bumper back on, get other things squared away, and like I said, we'll move to the roof and get that started. But I know we have some other projects that we're going to jump on before that. Hero's G35 is going to be getting some new mods. Yeah. I think some shift knob at some point, or maybe it's already come. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe we snapped our fingers and it's got done. We also have Project Cheeto coming in, so we'll be showcasing that as well. Yep. But anyway, guys, we'll see you later.
Wait, make sure to like,
subscribe.
If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave that in the comments below.
Ding ding, ringing the bells.
That little bell.
Yeah, don't forget. And then also, don't forget, check out Instagram, Facebook. Yep. Go ahead and subscribe to those as well.
Links in the description.
We do have a lot of updates going on, so we're super excited to showcase them to you guys there as well. So anyway,
all right.
First timers out. Peace. Thanks YouTube. Laters.
Woo! Woo!